everybody. Welcome to Coach's Corner Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Paul Tripoli. My old teammate from Alabama is our guest, Jeremiah Castille. JC, it's great to see you again.
Paul, it is great to see you. It is. I look forward to our conversation.
Oh my gosh, this show is brought to you by Sandy Sansing Chevrolet. So go out and see the great folks at Sandy Sansing and all the great sponsors. JC, there's so much to talk about. So we're going to try to get this done in 45 minutes if we can. You're All-American DB. You grew up Phoenix City. Talk about your 8 siblings. Were you the oldest of those 9 siblings?
I'm next to the youngest of 9. I'm number
you're
8
next
out
to
of
the
9.
You're next to the youngest.
Yes,
well, there's my
yes.
little brother theory. You're always playing with older brothers and sisters. But talk about growing up. I mean, you had you had a tough situation. Your dad was a World War II veteran. Talk about that.
Dad was World War II vet, suffered with PTSD, and my mother had a severe drinking problem. And within our home, there was tremendous domestic violence, and when my mom would drink, my parents had about a 4th grade education. So really, coming along, Paul, it was difficult. And what I thank God for is He allowed me to be able to look at those circumstances and see an opportunity. Really, I saw opportunity. I like to tell people I embrace the circumstances instead of enduring them. And at a very young age, God just gave me a vision that my parents' lives and my life could be different. And through sports, through athletics. And so at a young age, 13, 14, I just said, hey, I'm going to go to the University of Alabama. And that came out of me seeing Woodrow Lowe, a linebacker that was from Phoenix City, and the Coach Bryant show. And Coach Bryant was mentioning his name. And I said, man, I'm going to Alabama.
You walked by his house all the time going to school.
Yeah, walked by his house every day and didn't even know where Tuscaloosa was at.
I didn't know where it was either, JC, man. I didn't even know where Alabama was on the map.
Yeah, all I knew is I was going there. And so I developed the vision gave me a tremendous discipline at a young age. I grew, matter of fact, we was out in California here a few weeks ago, our youngest son playing, then going on to be an actor. I said, man, we went from the hood to Hollywood.
Oh my gosh. How did the Lord give you that challenge that you had? You turned it into opportunity. You didn't keep it in yourself and anger and all that. I think you just lay all your concerns on the good Lord at such an early age of 13? Because you were so focused. You and Walter Lewis were the most focused, disciplined, just really, a great athlete. And now I joke around with Walter like we're best buddies. But man, you guys were so focused. And then talk about you writing the book, because it's important that you get your story down for generations to see. And I have friends that have written books, and I'm going to start back writing my book as well, because, wouldn't you like to know your great-great-grandfather's story from himself? I mean, is that one of the reasons you're writing the book, JC?
Well, I'm writing the book as a gift to my family. Mm-hmm. I really am not writing the book. My number one deal is not that it sells and do well,
right?
But that when I'm no longer around, my great-great-grandchildren can physically have a copy and read about their great-great-grandfather and the legacy that he left, what we built, the life, what we built as a person, and with the help of the good Lord. And so that is what is driving me to do the book. But also at the same time, I believe that it will bless the Alabama family.
Right.
It will be a blessing to say, hey, there was a young man that came along at the University of Alabama, and the University of Alabama gave him an opportunity. During the decade of integration, Alabama gave me an opportunity. And with all of the negative narrative that is still a lot of times in our culture on race relations, this
Right.
is a powerful, positive story of a young man that um, took advantage of the opportunity.
Right. Yeah. When I came down south from upstate New York, I was kind of flabbergasted myself by the racism and the bias. I did not see it from where I came from up north, and it was just a shocking realization to me. Them talking, like for instance, talking about the Civil War. I didn't talk about the Civil War unless I was in school, but and I was just flabbergasted by that. We still had to go through that, and you lived it, and you and Walter lived it, being the first African American quarterback at the University of Alabama. But you gave me, not only me, JC, you may not know this, but you gave me and Sammy Hood, guys like that. We used to watch you and Tommy Wilcox on the sideline for years and study you guys. And we couldn't have got we couldn't have gotten a better example. You guys were just so good in school. You went to school. You worked hard. You didn't ever complain. Both you guys. You were both All-Americans. So Sammy and I would go, wow, we can't be that good, but let's learn from those guys. Like the 3-step drop. I learned how to read. I learned how to read the 3-step drop from you, man. And you had that cobra strike. When you hit too, man. You and Rocky Colburn, you didn't give us any break in angle tackle drills, JC.
Well, I was there. I was all about business. I like to tell people I came there as an 18-year-old man that was serious about the circumstances that I had in my family. And what I loved about Coach Bryant was he was a lot like my father, and both were in World War II. So that generation of men and leaders just you couldn't make excuses. They didn't accept excuses for failure. And it pushed me. Till this day, Paul, I still am in awe of how I was one of those. I hung on every word Coach Bryant said. Every word. I respected the man. Just I didn't revere him like God, but man, he was just a step or two down.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And so everything he said, I took it to heart, and it allowed me to really dominate the position I played. I still look back at my performance, and I'm like, man, how did I, size-wise, I was undersized corner. And
right.
And in those 4 years at Alabama, I had 21 interceptions in 4 years. And I still think, they don't give me credit for about 5 of those from the bowl games. Literally.
They don't give you credit. Come on,
no,
man.
They don't.
Yeah, especially we're going to talk about we're going to talk about those
They
three.
didn't keep record back then. And I'm like, well, you kept up with the score, didn't you? How you didn't keep up with the stats? So when I talk to people, I don't say 16 interceptions anymore. I've grown in it. I figure at 65 out, I could at least tell the truth.
Right, exactly.
It's 21 interceptions.
Coach Bryant was detail oriented too, wasn't he, JC? I mean, he taught us how to prepare, and he was prepared for every detail. What happens, even talking to the media, he would have 3 notebooks, one for winning, losing, and tying. I mean, that's how prepared he always was. Tell us another Coach Bryant story. All right, wait a minute. Oh. Let's go back. You were a multi-sport star in high school, track, basketball, and football. Who was the recruiting process, and who recruited you, and was it much a big sell, and was anybody else recruiting you?
I wasn't a big sell because I was 5'9", 155 pounds. Auburn actually, on my visit there, they said, hey, you're too small. So Coach Barfield said, hey, you're an undersized corner. We're not looking for guys your size.
Whoa.
And I truly believe that Coach Jeff Rousey, who recruited me in Alabama, really taught Coach Bryant I think Coach Bryant trusted Coach Rousey to offer me a scholarship, man. He must have did a great job of selling. I don't know, 30 years later, he was actually on a ministry board that we had for a short period of time. We were talking about this one day, and he said, when I first brought you up on your recruiting trip during the season, and Coach Bryant met you, and he said you walked off, and Coach Bryant said, "Jeff, are you sure about him?" He said, Coach Bryant said, "Man, he's mighty little."
Hey, good for Coach Rousey. Yeah.
I'll tell you that to say they offered me a scholarship. And then the fall of 1979 was my freshman year, August. And we had been in camp for 2 weeks. And after one of the practices, the second week, I came in, and on my locker was a pink sticky note. Yeah, and I about TT'd in my britches, just scared as all get out. On the note, this is what it said, Paul. Coach Bryant wants to see you. Verbatim. And so I had to go up to the third floor of Coleman Coliseum, and I'm scared as all get out. So Linda Knowles was the secretary. She said, "Have a seat. They'll be with you in a minute." Man, that was a long minute. And door opens up. She said, "You could go on in." Coach Bryant was smoking one of his Chesterfield cigarettes. I still have a Kodak moment of it. He was puffing on that thing with that tobacco. And he put it in an ashtray, and he told me to sit on that black and white checkered couch that he had in his office.
You sank down in, yeah.
You didn't have any legs on it. You was looking up at it. His first words to me were, "You could play here at the University of Alabama."
Oh my gosh.
Was it really? First words to me.
Holy cow.
After 2 weeks of practice.
Wow.
And so I'm thinking in my mind, I'm behind Don McNeil.
Right. That's who I was wondering who you learned the position from.
And so I'm thinking in my mind, when he leave, I'm gonna play.
Right.
His next words were, "You could play this year." And when I tell large audiences that story, I said, "Boy, did I. Boy, did I."
Oh my gosh.
So the greatest coach, I consider the greatest coach at college football at that time, told a 5'9", 155-pound defensive back, "You can play here at the University of Alabama."
Unbelievable. That must have motivated you to no end after that.
Well, I tell people I walked in there 5'9" and walked out 6'9".
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Boy, did I play. And Paul, I'll be honest with you, from that day on, every practice, I was going to prove him right.
Yeah, you wanted to prove him right. Yes, you wanted to prove him right.
Yes.
I have a similar story. I tell it about my story. If anybody wants to hear it, just go back and archive my story. But he transformed my life in one meeting I had with him. After my second year, 220 practices and 500 workouts before I ever pulled on the crimson jersey. And he called me in the year and motivated me to where I got to be. He was unbelievable, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was a master psychologist, JC.
He was a master motivator.
Motivator.
I had, and I try to copy him to this day. I try to mimic him to this day in every area of my life, every area. And I there's not a day go by I don't think about Coach Bryant. Not a day. My philosophy on life, how I raise my children, being in ministry, coming back, returning to the university, all of that because of a man named Paul W. Bryant. And
unbelievable. Unbelievable. So let's
on that meet in that meet. So I'm getting ready to head out the door in the office. And this is what he said. He said, "You see that door?" He said, "That door is always open." Ooh. He said, "If you ever have a problem, don't hesitate to knock on that door.
Wow. Unbelievable. He had your back. He gave you confidence. He would challenge you. All those things, and only in just a couple sentences, he would do it. Coach Bryant was so detailed. I'll never forget it. His last game, we're in Memphis. It was nice all week, and it was freezing cold the night of the game, day of the game. And we're in the locker room before. I think it might have been the day before. My memories is not as, I've had a lot of concussions too, JC. But I know when you spoke at that team meeting, you were like E.F. Hutton, brother. People listen, man. They were, I was trying to zero in, but bring me back to that conversation.
Well, you said. Paul. That was right before the captains were going to go out. I was sitting there in my locker, and I had this strong prompting in my gut to get up and say something. And if you can remember back then, I was a quiet person. I was very quiet. I just didn't talk. And I'm struggling with this thing. And the more I sat there, the more it felt like if I don't get up, I'm going to throw up. And so I raised my hand and said, Coach Bryant, can I say something? This is all impromptu. I don't even know what I'm going to say.
Oh, my gosh.
And when I stood up, God gave me the words. And the first thing I said is, I said, Coach, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me. I said, 4 years ago, I came here as an 18-year-old boy. But tonight, I'm leaving as a 21-year-old man. And we're not going to lose this game tonight. I said, Coach, I got to play this doggone baby by myself, man. We winning this baby. I was just so fired up about winning that last ball game for Coach Bryant. And I just felt like that that set a fire in our team to go out and win that ball game.
Yeah, you mentioned win it for yourself. We all know we want to win it for Coach Bryant, but you gotta do yourself. You gotta do your job. Did you go out and get 3 INTs in the first half, JC?
It was 3 total in the game. 3 total in the game, 3 interceptions.
Did we have 7? Did we really have 7 that game?
We had
7. I think it was 7. Eason threw 4, and that backup threw 3 passes, all to us.
Our defense probably had more completions than they did on offense. But it was wet and cold.
Oh, it was cold.
I tell you, those 3 interceptions actually, I had set a goal before the season. Coach Campbell, before the season, he asked me, he said, what's your goal this year? I'm gonna get 10 interceptions. And Paul, I said, I'm gonna get 10 interceptions. And it shocked Coach Campbell so bad he went. He just had this strange look on his face, like, are you crazy, boy? You're gonna get 10 interceptions. Well,
my God.
History serves me correct, I went into the Liberty Bowl with 7 interceptions.
Oh, did you really, JC? I never knew that.
I never knew that. Yep. I needed 3 that night. And
that just goes to show you goals, man. Right about Mark Merrill, a good friend of mine, who's the #1 school presenter in the world, by the way. He used to be Johnny B. Bad, the wrestler. What a job he's done turning his life around, saving hundreds and hundreds of kids' lives. And he believes in writing your goals down and putting where you can see them, like in the mirror in the bathroom or something. Yes. Wow, that's unbelievable. You and your wife, you founded a nonprofit organization, JC Found. Talk a little bit about your foundation.
Well, we have been Jeremiah Castille Foundation. We incorporated in 1999 with the, go back to Coach Bryant again, Paul. You heard this. He says it's 2 kind of people in life, givers and takers. Make sure you're a giver.
Right.
So we incorporated that foundation with the mission to help inner city youth, disadvantaged youth, and we did it for 20 plus years with youth football camps in the summer. We've done camps all over the country.
Oh,
And
wow.
we started right here in Birmingham, and we would do the camps and actually have former NFL, former college coaches and players to come in and run those camps in the summer.
Oh, man, what a beautiful thing. JC, on that same line, this is important to me because I coached a youth football here in Pensacola. I coached high school football here for many, many years. And this area, as you well know, a lot of guys like Rocky Colburn, Doug Allen, Jimmy Watts, Dave Valletta, all from here. They won state titles multiple times. We've only won one in the last 20 years up here. Youth football, I think it has to do with youth football. And how can we fix – I still go to games, JC, at youth football games, and I'm like, what are these coaches doing, man? Good Lord have mercy on their soul. And then I see where your sons, your three boys, you didn't let them play in those youth leagues. You trained them and then coached them in high school. I coached my son in high school. Let's talk about this a little bit, JC. Let's call a spade and say, why can't we get better youth coaches for our kids? Why can't we do better?
Well, we can if we were to go about probably a vetting process. We just don't let anybody have access to our children.
Right.
So it takes vetting and having people that are qualified to do the job. We just have to keep a standard that's high, like we do with so many other things that our children are involved in. So I think it starts right there, having a high standard and just vetting people, not letting anybody because they say they want a coach or they have a love for it. So I think keeping the standard high is where we start. And if we start there, then having that in place is going to draw the people that are truly qualified to do it.
I think coaching high school stipends are a joke here in Florida. At least they are in Escambia County. I mean, I coached for $2,000 a year, $3,000 a year, and I was spending 20 hours a week, 6 months, 20 hours a week up there, 6 months a year. I had to work 2-3 jobs, JC, 3 jobs just to do what I love, to give back to, and it's killing me, man, working 3 jobs, and so. Well, I don't understand why we're so our money cannot be spent in the extracurricular activities, whether it's music or sports, because my mother was a believer in music and sports. She said, you should be well balanced. So we all either had to sing or play an instrument. But there's no, I don't understand why we don't invest in, in vet, like you said. I think vetting is a secret for youth sports.
Well, it really shows you where the heart of the culture is when we don't pay the people that are the influencers in our culture. We pay people that are not influencers, and coaches, teachers, policemen, firemen. These are the people that really, without their service, we wouldn't have the life that we have. And
right. Sanitation workers. I mean, Kerry Good and I'm gonna get a plug for KG, right? He comes on Monday night. We do a Good and Faithful Servant show, JC, talk about faith, family, and football, and he's a star on the show. JC, he's funnier than they all get out, man. But we talk about that, and I just want to say thanks for what you do. Don McNeil, did you really study him? Is that who you learned?
Yes. My first year, there wasn't any pressure on me to start. So on the sidelines, I just watched Don McNeil. I watched, and there wasn't any pressure. And as I watched, I learned, and I learned how to play the position from watching the great Don McNeil.
Brother Oliver, he said Don McNeil's play in the play before the goal line stand. He came off his guy. I still watch it once in a while. He came off his guy, and Brother Oliver said, "That's the most The best effort play, the best play he's ever seen a DB. We'll talk about that. What did he? I mean, do you guys watch that film? I mean, talk a little bit about Don McNeil. What was he like?
Well,
I got there a year after he left.
Well, if you watch that play, it'll teach everybody how to tackle. If nothing else, we've lost the art of tackling in this football culture we're in, man.
We have. What's wrong with that, JC? They tackle up high, too much up high.
They're not teaching how to use the hips and drive through. We lost some of the fundamentals of the game. And coaches are trying to cut corners. There's no corner cutting in football until they make it to where it's flagged. Then, buddy, that blocking and tackling is where you got to get it, and you have to do it in practice.
That's right.
And we were just taught. A lot of people would compliment me on my tackling ability. It was just the fundamentals of how I was taught.
Yes.
And so I was just taught the right way to tackle, and man, that's really what it was. And
you're right.
Hips, learning how to bring hips and drive through a guy. You see so much of this tag. I don't know what to call it today.
I don't either, man. It's so frustrating what these guys are doing now. I mean, my gosh, fundamentals still wins games. All right, so talk about coaching. Number one, coaching Timmy, Simeon, and Caleb in high school, and then was it more nervous to watch them play at Bama than actually play? I bet it was.
Yeah, yes. For me as a father, I was more nervous watching them than when I played.
Yeah, because you could control it when you played.
Yeah, and I saw my son Tim have a real bad injury there in his sophomore year up in Tennessee. And then, as a father, that's what you kind of walk around really dreading that those type of injuries don't happen. And but I thoroughly enjoyed watching them. And I didn't persuade them to go to Alabama. I asked them one day when we were just all together, I said, why did y'all choose Alabama? Because Tim and Simeon were in their classes, they were some of the top rated running back and defensive backs in the country. They could have where in the country. Mm-hmm. And Alabama was really down. We were down at that time. And
right.
I said, what made y'all decide to go to Alabama? And they said, Dad, all of the stories you told us at dinner time at the dinner table.
Oh, wow.
All of the Alabama and Coach Bryant stories. Man, Paul, I was recruiting them and didn't even know it.
Of course you were, man. Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you this one real quick. So Coach Simeon's senior year, Coach Saban was the head coach at LSU. And he came to our house, he and Jimbo Fisher. And after Coach Saban did a great job of coming and just recruiting Simeon, and man, he was so thorough, I didn't even have a question as a parent. Mm-hmm. So Simeon and I, we decided we was going to go do a workout afterwards. I was going to work him out, and I was stretching him, getting ready to work out, and he says, Dad, I've made a decision on where I'm going to go. And man, this big old lump came up in my throat, like, oh my, he's getting ready to tell me he's going to LSU. Because Coach Saban had left, ain't been at the house an hour ago. Oh, Lord, how am I going to deal with this? And he said, Dad, I decided I'm going to Alabama. I jumped out! Roll Tide!
Oh, man.
I jumped up yelling.
Holy cow.
And he said, I'm going to go play with my big brother.
Oh, man, what a heartwarming moment. Holy cow, JC. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, that is beautiful. And I'm so proud of you for not pushing them and saying, no, you got to go to Bama and all this stuff. You let your kids make their own decisions. It's their life. It's not your life. You've already lived yours. Man, you played for the Bucks from 83 to 86. '87. You went to Denver, and you were the fumble. You caused the fumble. You're not. I think the only city in the country you may not be welcome at is Cleveland, because I think it was their best shot to go to the Super Bowl. But you hit Ernest Biner, I think, with your helmet right on the football or something.
No, it wasn't a helmet. I hit the ball.
Was it? You did? You punched the ball?
Punched
the
ball. Yes.
You were doing it before they're doing. It wasn't popular back then, JC, to do that.
Well, we practiced it at Denver. Yeah, we practiced it.
Because we didn't practice it at Alabama. I don't remember practicing.
No, man, you better put that bike on them at Alabama. What I call it, that bike. That bike helmet. You better be.
If you could put that on him, you weren't stepping between the lines. Let me tell you. Yeah, if you could put that bike on him, you just go sit down.
Paul, that play is really a prayer answered. I prayed, believe it or not. Wow. I prayed before. I was the nickel back on that team, the '87 team. I came from Tampa. And we were the week of getting ready to play Cleveland. I prayed. I said, Lord, let me get in that game and make something happen. That was my prayer.
Wow.
And it came all the way down to about 5, 6, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And the guy that I played behind, Steve Wilson, caught a cramp in his calf.
Oh, yeah, because you wouldn't be a nickel on the goal line. No, you wouldn't be a nickel on the goal line. Yeah, right. So he got hurt and you got in.
He got hurt, and I came in the game at cornerback, at left corner.
Oh, my gosh, Jason.
The last 5, 6 minutes.
What?
And I came in, and Cleveland drove the ball down and scored a touchdown from Bernie Kosar to Webster Slaughter on me in the safety on a quick slant. I was supposed to have help inside. Well, they kick it off to us. We don't do anything with it. We punt it back to them. And, man, they go 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 3-yard line, 8-yard line, wherever it was at. And they call the same defensive play that got me beat for that touchdown drive before. And I was like, why did they call that play again? I had a bad attitude about wanting to run the play. And I went to line up at my position. It was for the corner, it was man bump. We're going to make it look like man bump.
Mm-hmm.
And when I lined up, if I'm talking to a church group of people or believers, I say, it's like God slowed down time. I don't know if people ever experienced, but I had all day to think about how I was going to line up a whole bit. And I thought about it and I said, last time I lined up like this in the bump position, I got beat for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do something different. So I backed off of the receiver.
Oh.
And that's what allowed me to see the running play develop.
And then you got inside the wide receiver.
I got inside leverage on him.
Yeah.
And then Ernest on about the 3-yard line. Yep, that's what happened. You know that.
I know exactly what happened. Yeah.
Yep. And so I'm getting ready to make contact. And the best way for me to describe it, Paul, is God slowed down time again.
Yeah.
It's like I had 24 hours to think about what am I going to do. And Ernest had scored, I think, 3 touchdowns in that game already. Yeah, he just went off in the second half, man. He just was blistering us. And what looked like was he was so close to scoring, he was getting ready to raise the ball up. And it caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
He loosened his grip on the ball.
Wow.
When I saw him loosen the grip.
Slow motion right there for you.
Yeah. And when I saw that, I just went, boop, just punched the ball.
Wow. It's funny how I talk about this, JC. I've been doing the show for 15 years. So I talk a lot of Hall of Famers, a lot of guys, a lot of All-Americans. And I talked to them a little bit about this slowing down, the game slows down sometimes at certain moments. I've had a friend of mine that played in the World Series. We went 4 for 7 in the World Series. He said it felt like the pitch was slowing down. I've seen that too when I've made plays or interceptions or made big plays in my career. The time slows down. It's a unique dynamic or paradigm shift, really.
Yeah,
I think visualization. I think visualization has something to do with it. I believe in visualization, and
well, I think you can get to such a powerful place of. You said visualization. My word be such a powerful place of focus that you can hone in on, focus on. That's what I just so focused on.
Right,
making that tackle.
Yeah, right.
That it slowed down,
Right,
like, man, he's getting ready to raise this ball up. Otherwise, I don't see that.
Unbelievable, JC. What a career, what a life. I'm glad you're writing the book. I'm trying to find motivation here for me to get back into writing my book as well. But I'm proud of you, man. It was a joy to play with you. Man, I learned so much. I learned how to play cornerback. I ended up strong safety, but Tommy Wilcox helped me learn that position. But, man, it's great having you on, JC. Love seeing you.
It's been a pleasure, Paul. Let's stay in touch.
Buddy. Yeah, Godspeed, brother.
Yes, sir. God bless you.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
JC Jeremiah Castille. What a player, man. What a man. Should have talked a little bit more about his ministry with the football team, because I know things like that now are more important than his football playing days, man. Obviously, I know one thing that really moved him was baptizing Bryce Young when he was there. But thank you for everything you do, JC, for Alabama football, man. And thank you for what you did for me in my career. Stay tuned for these great messages, folks. Without these sponsors, this just wouldn't be possible. Have a great sports weekend, everybody. So long.
When it comes to buying your next car, truck, or SUV, you need a team that puts you first. Here at the Sandy Sansing dealerships, we're proud to serve Pensacola and the Gulf Coast with the best selection, trusted service, and deals that work for your family. Just like great coaches build great teams, Sandy Sansing builds lasting relationships with every customer who walks through our doors. Because when it comes to finding your next vehicle, there's only one name to remember. Sandy Sansing can.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray, and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
75 years of service and high tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than a simple pane of brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348.
When it comes to buying your next car, truck, or SUV, you need a team that puts you first. Here at the Sandy Sansing dealerships, we're proud to serve Pensacola and the Gulf Coast with the best selection, trusted service, and deals that work for your family. Just like great coaches build great teams, Sandy Sansing builds lasting relationships with every customer who walks through our doors. Because when it comes to finding your next vehicle, there's only one name to remember. Sandy Sansing can.